When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like the lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor. Dear, in my eyes, I see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow peak. Achoo. That's right. Musical interludes. Hello, welcome to the show. And it's time for the Comic Stock with Reverend Sully here at your dojo for practical and tactical spirituality. Indeed. Welcome. It's time for the Sunday Review Show. Yes, we have advertised this as we have read 42 different comic books this week. How's that possible? 42 new comic books in 1 week? Well, I have access to an amazing amount of free comic books. I call it the digital pirate chest. Arrgh! I sail those high seas, but I will always go back and buy it if it's good. What's in the bag? What's in the bag? Well, we'll find out what we got from our local comic book shop at the end of the review section. And we're also gonna, Festivus has come early, Festivus, a holiday for the rest of us, where we get to air our grievances. And what a wonderful time to talk about Star Wars. I'm usually very positive, and I will remain so. Yet, I am going to air my legit grievances with Disney Star Wars for our op-ed near the end of the show. It's 90 degrees here in Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America, North America, planet Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy. Oh, outer spiral arm, Milky Way galaxy. All righty. How are you, Pika? How you doing? Good to see you. It's going to be storming out, so just a caveat. You never know. It's going to be thunder and lightning. He loves a lightning storm. He does. Pika was born to ride the lightning, one could say. Flash before my eyes. Now it's time to fry. It's Metallica. It's true. We read 42 different magazines, floppies this week of serialized entertainments in a magazine format. Well, not necessarily in a magazine format. Well, PDFs of that, but we bought only 4 floppies this week. That's fine. It's like, spent probably about less than $20, between about $17 at my local comic book shop, my LCS. That's right. Hey, James, good to see you. How are you? Good to see you out there today. Stay dry and try to, get between the raindrops. You know what I mean? Thank you, Pika. Yeah, what are your grievances with Star Wars? We'll write them down and air them when it's time, when we enter the Festivus part. Instead of a Wookiee Life Day, it's going to be Corellian Festivus. All right? How's that sound? Coruscanti? Tatooine Water Day or something? Oh, come on. So, let's get to it. I hope you're having a great day, a great week. Hey, Dwayne Muth, good to see you. How are you? Happy Sunday to you, too. Heads up to everyone in the chat. Yeah, so if it's going to start storming here in Boston any minute now. So all apologies if it cuts out with the lightning and everything, blackouts and stuff. That usually doesn't happen around here, but it's a hot day too. So everyone's got their air conditioners on. me included. You know, it's a nice 76.3 degrees here in our Boston studios, which is down the street from the corner. Over there, we've got a Cecilized Canadian bear. If you can see over there, oh my goodness, Cecil has finally been a bad influence on Jay. We have the critical drinker there are in the control booth. You know, manning the helm, the cameras, the mics, the booms, the sets. Pika is our executive producer. I am just the talent, and I read whatever he writes. So, you know, if you got any kids' questions or concerns, you take it up with that one right there. Let's see. Elithador, how are you? Only 4 books purchased this week. Hell, I bought 4 Marvel books a week this loan. Oh, my goodness. Yes, JK is in the house. Hi, all. Getting ready to drive, but listening, and we'll hope to keep you company on your ride. We got plenty to talk about today. We've got lots of comic books to talk about. We got Image Comics. We got DC. What do we got for the tally, Pika? We read 14 Image Comics this week. We read 9 different DC comics this week. No shit, we read 19 different Marvel books this week. I read 19 Marvel books this week. Some of them were okay. There were 2 Stephanie Phillip books and Jackpot and the Black Cat issue 4 of 4. Oh my gosh. Some of the stuff was surprising, and it was okay. Maybe we should start with let's start with the Image Comics too, you know, because it's, you know, they're independents. Blood Squad 7 number 2, written by Joe Casey. It's about I can't show this book because it's pretty adult, pretty graphic. This is issue 2 of an ongoing new Image book, bringing old kind of like it's like what Local Man's doing as well. Let's bring these Image Comics superheroes, or the feeling of that, from the 90s into the now, and let's, you know, see like how the ages have changed, you know, from the Image age to now. I mean, just like how would these over the top, over muscular, over boobed, big shoulder pad, over armed kind of thing, how does this fit into the 21st century and now? It's a direct spinoff of Coming Out of Dutch by Joe Casey, and I'll tell you that the last 2 pages of Blood Squad 7 number 2 here, I'm not showing you them. I can't. I'll get in trouble. We'll get struck or something, and it would be in bad taste too, because I'm telling you, it's graphic sexual violence with the victimization of women, which starts as a consensual love scene, ends up very badly for the young lady involved. And here's your indicia, and this is what it looks like. Here's your trade dress. It's Casey, Fry, Segala, Harrison, Wooten. Or one of them, here we go. Russ Wooten is the letterer. So finally, I get to see somebody besides Hassan Otsmani Allahu, a letterer, on a cover of a comic book. That's cool. At least it's fair, you know. So yeah, this is some kind of like, maybe it's like Image's version of The Boys or something. See, it starts in 1992, and he's fighting Savage Dragon, you know, and it's okay. And then to now, and then that's that. That's all I'm showing you. All right. I don't want to show you the violence. I'm not going to show you that. No. Hello, DJ Ronnie G. How are you? Long time not chat. Yep. Hope all is well. Indeed. Hope all is well over there too. You getting dumped on with rain as well? You got thunderstorms? Is it thundering out there? I was on Wes's Thinking Critical yesterday for Comics Aficionados. And I was like, I get the call sometimes. He's like, you know, hey, can you come on the show? Like on a Thursday or a Friday, if he knows someone is dropped out of the show. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And to my surprise and delightment, I made a new friend yesterday. It really felt like I made a connection with somebody because it was fun. It was really good to hang out with. It was Jeff Hicks from World Class Bullshitters. And I've been watching his stuff for 5 years or more. And I got to gush at him for a minute in the green room before we went on. And that was nice. It was like, dude, you were like one of my favorite YouTubers, man. You helped inspired me doing this myself. And it's great because Jeff is all about comic books, and he never gets to talk to anyone about comic books. Well, guess what, buddy? You've got a place talking comic books with all of us every Saturday morning, whether I'm on the show or not. I'm in the chat. And like I said, Doc is the only permanent member of the show, and that's two of the 6 seats. So there's always 4 rotating spots on the show for all the favorite people that you see talking about comic books every Saturday at Wes's Thinking Criticals, the comics aficionados. And you can go to his page if you want one of these t-shirts. I got 3. I didn't even get a discount. I just bought them because I'm on the show and I wanted to represent. Wes himself designed this, the evolution. I love this simple thing. I love the font, and I think this is a really well-designed brand and logo. So I love wearing this, and I love being part of that. So if you want your own, go to Wes's channel and go to his shop. That's where I got mine. Seriously, I got one in red, I got one in blue, and I got one in gray. And Elithador says, it's been raining in Connecticut for a while now. Don't want to go out and do things. That's right. Stay in and read a comic book where it's nice and dry. There was Department of the Truth, number 23. Written by James Tynion IV, Tiny Onion. I'm just like looking at I don't know much about this, and this is obviously okay. Look, this is a very iconic cover. You can well, how is it going to be an iconic cover? This is more of a. These are very iconic time. You know exactly what this is looking at it, don't you? That's Jacqueline Kennedy and Jack Kennedy and Dallas on November 23rd, 11/22/63. Yeah, November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas. And there's something spooky going on. And let's see. Steve Fox is the editor of this, and he's been writing Marvel comics. All right, and Aditya Bikadar, letterer. Okay, you see her name's on here. So we got the writer, we got the artist, and we got the letterer on the cover. Why not the? You know what I mean? Well, the artist. There is no color. I think the artist did everything. There's your indicia, the tiny print for the tiny, and there's your Tiny Onion thing. And this is how it looks. It looks like an old Vertigo book. It really does. And there's yeah. I mean, this is how. I mean, I can't follow this thing. Seriously, I'm not even gonna try. But it's nice to read. I mean, because it's like I will read everything that I get. More than likely, I will. Sometimes I skip over shit, but usually, and I'll get back to it in a few days. Like my Marvel, there were so many Marvel comics this week. I was like, okay. I ended up reading like 4 or 5 of them this morning. I was like, oh wow, you skipped over a bunch, And I caught up this morning. Drawing Blood, issue 3, maybe a 4. I'm not too sure. And this is co-written by Kevin Eastman, of one of the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he did Kevin Eastman did the cover here. Also, Kevin Eastman does some of the art inside of it as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm completely. I've lost the point. I've lost the plot in this. I mean, I think we're supposed to understand that there's like a, what is real, what is, this imaginary thing, and this guy is seeing like his cartoon creations like interfere, like he's hallucinating, or is he? That's the point. So this is drawing blood, but like here, look at this. Here we go. This is some solid Kevin Eastman art from a. This is the art that I am used to seeing from the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles way back in the mid to late 1980s from Mirage Studios. I love this stuff. I love Eastman's art, and then it comes back to Ben Bishop's art. And yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm not buying it. Let's put it there. We got Grommets, issue number 2 by Rick Remender. This is of 7 issues. It's co-written by Brian Posen, he's a TV actor, a comedic TV actor. We got people coming in out the door. It's raining out there. Come on in. It's warm in here. We've got plenty of stuff. Fear Monarch, how are you? Drawing Blood number 3 was great. I'm glad you're liking it. You can explain to me what's going on. Kevin Eastman's comic. Drawing Blood is Kevin Eastman's Comics Will Break Your Heart Kid comic. Yeah, it sounds like it's a bit like it starts off with the 2 creators of a comic, and one of them is, passed. And it seems like this is a little semi-autobiographical about Eastman and Kevin Laird himself. Those were the 2 original creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Also, that was lampooned in the Kevin Smith movie Chasing Amy. With Jason Lee and Ben Affleck there, and drawing, the Blunt Man and Chronic comic, and how they sold Blunt Man and Chronic like Eastman and Laird sold Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's really funny, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's the whole in-joke. We got Bandito Bane in the house. How's it going, buddy? He had me on his show last night. Come and check it out. In the replay, we had a good time. I love hanging out with Juan, and we got to hang out with Gray, Wakazashi's Tea House. And we got to talk about a lot of stuff. Learned about some stuff, too. Like there's a huge, they call it the Epic Universal Theme Park down in Orlando, Florida, which is just like, a lot of it looks really interesting. Because I actually do watch those old Universal horror movies. I watch the Dracula ones. I'm watching the Frankenstein ones. We'll be covering 8 different Frankenstein movies from the Universal catalog in our 31 Days of Halloween this year. We're going to be focusing on Frankenstein movies a little bit. Not only just the 8 Universal movies, but also I got Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein that had Robert De Niro as the monster. I've got some other ones I got to hustle down too. I got the Frankenstein from Hammer movies that has Peter Cushing as Victor von Frankenstein and with Christopher Lee as the monster. Dude, yeah, I mean, looking forward to it. I got Frankenhooker. Frankenhooker is this awful. This is an awful horror comedy movie from like 1990, and the name is exactly what you think it is. Let's see. I'm sure it's a bit of an embellishment in places, but we get the appearance of Siberia Tundra, where he lost all his money chasing freedom of expression. You seen that Nosferatu in the end of the year? Yeah, does Pinocchio got wooden balls, man? I love Nosferatu. That's a good, I need to catch up on that Klaus Kinski version though from the 1970s, late 70s. I think that would be that should be on the list. I got some hot chocolate today, and it's got a huge spoon of marshmallow fluff. I kind of drank before the show started. Give me a little bit of put some pep in my step. There's only so many shocks I can get from Pika before my hair starts singeing. We got Grommets here on Image Comics, 7 issues. Slice of Life from the early 1980s. It starts in 1984. and it's about skaters and like the skateboarding culture in Southern California in the early 1980s. And it's really fun. It's a bunch of kids that get together. 1985, and seems to have progressed one whole year since the last issue. Check out that 7-Eleven. That's great. But we're gonna Tower Records, and just really nice art. And look at this Taco Bell. Everyone's been raving about this Taco Bell. This is what Taco Bell used to look like before that they changed their corporate logo in the early 1990s, before the Chihuahua. I remember Taco Bell when it looked like this. We had like one Taco Bell in Boston, and it did look like this. And then they changed everything over to that modern look. But I mean, look, this looks just like I love it. I can taste the mild sauce, dude. I totally can. Double beef burrito supreme. That's mine. Don't touch it. I'll eat 2 of them. Seriously. Food gets me excited. I like that. Grommets number 2. Check it out. It's hopefully it's working for you. Yeah, King Spawn 35, written by Todd McFarlane, art by Jason Sean Alexander, from who you might remember recently from Ram V's Detective Comics. You never know. Maybe because like everything culminates in the grand skating competition. By 85, Hawk must have been about almost 20, right? Just like, let's look that up. Tony Hawk, his son married Frances Bean Cobain. You know who Frances Bean Cobain is? Frances Bean Cobain is Kurt Cobain's daughter, heiress of the Nirvana fortune, and Courtney Love's daughter as well. 1968. So he would be, Tony Hawk would be 17 years old in 1985. The Birdman. That's right. The Birdman. All righty. Let's look at some comic books. Sacrificers. That last week. Don't worry, we're going to put a pin in that. We'll be talking about that one any second now. Which one? He's been cranking out a lot lately. Yeah. Sacrificers is sick, but this is really good. The art in this is so awesome. I mean, God, I got turned on to Jason Sean Alexander in tech recently, and this is just some good stuff. And I'm not even the biggest Spawn fan, but I am a fan of a good comic book. This is pretty darn good. And yeah, check out King Spawn for $2.99 at your local comic book shop. Seriously. We've got Monstrous number 52 by Marjorie Liu. Who? Marjorie Liu. She wrote a lot of Marvel comics 20 years ago, man. She's the co-creator of Daken Akihiro, Logan's son, the mongrel Daken. I actually asked her on Twitter about 10 years ago, back when you could talk to, you can still talk to comic book creators. I do all the time. And I asked her, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Deacon or is it Daken? And she was like, no, it's Daken. Yeah. And this is Monstrous. It's issue 52, $3.99. It's very anime-ish. I mean, look at this info dump. The story so far. When Micah, Kippa, Ren woke up on a submarine and blah. It's just and we have a dramatis personae. We've got animal people. We've got elves. So it's a mystical fantasy land full of action and intrigue and magic. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy to see that Liu's still working, and it's decent. I only tune into it here in the pirate chest, but besides that, just I'm really cool with that. It's really good. Oh my goodness, Knights number 8. Oh my goodness, I really don't like this book that much. That's okay. It's not made for me. It's supernatural. It's young. It's funny. Hey, look, we got a Dragon Ball Z reference here. I can hear the thunder. Or did you fart? Sometimes his farts sound like thunder. You know, he is a Pikachu though. Here we go. Previously, supernatural creatures are an everyday occurrence. The United States consists of 31 states. Florida is owned by Spain, and the internet is infantile and irrelevant. Of course, like always. And then we have Ivory, who's a former assassin, former werewolf, kinda, and was given a magic collar that keeps the wolf from coming out. Currently trying to enjoy some domestic bliss. And this is Matt, the friendly ghost boy. This is Vince. He's a sweet but average human. And he tried to save Gray from her monstrous transformation. Gray is formerly believed to be a vampire. And this book's like all over the place. And I don't know. No thanks. Next, No One, number 9. This is from something called the Massive Verse. I have no idea what that means, but I do like the. See, look, doesn't this look familiar? This is Black Market Narrative, and I think that's who's this? Kyle Higgins. All right, and Brian Busoletto. I kind of like the design here. It's all over. 32 pages, story and art, $3.99. This is issue number 9 of No One. And yeah, here we go. You can't get enough of that, like that opening panel that just shows you where and when you are, you know, and especially in movies too. And but I did like, let's see, maybe I can blow this up a bit. You know how I like to complain about art, and I like to complain about, you know, let's see. Okay, now look at this. It's called the Pittsburgh Ledger, Tuesday, November 13th, 2023. And here we have, like, it's a, you know, that's supposed to be a newspaper, sure. But do you see all, like, you know, all the dots that are on the picture that it's supposed to be the photo here? See, that's where your screen, your Ben-Day dot filter works, is because that's how a black and white newspaper photo looks. So yeah, if you've ever heard me like go on and on and on about screen tone filters, I like it when it has a practical use, when it's, you know, used to, you know, it's not just thrown everywhere. It's just like, it's very specific. It doesn't have to be thrown on a page just to look like, you know, nostalgia. Massive Verse is radiant black. Okay, cool. Good to know. And Bandito saying, I saw in Dark Universe they're going to make the Burning Windmill a bar where the Monster Hunter hang out. They also have a vampire restaurant called Das Steakhouse. That's cute. Yeah, bloody rare, please. Oh. Let's see. What else is we got? Sacrificers number 9. Rook Exodus number 3. It was sold out by the time I got there. I did not miss my copy of Rook Exodus number 3 because Yul Carter of Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California, has my copy of Rook Exodus. 1 second, please. Thank you. And this Jason Fabok art is what sells me on it. It's just set on its own. Humans have colonized other planets. This was a terraforming that went bad, and most people have evacuated this planet, and very few people are staying, and some people are trying to escape. The people that are staying are trying to try to make it work, even though like it feels like the world is. Let's say a struggling farmer from Earth was giving a second chance on the planet Exodus, a terraformed world where every aspect of nature is controlled by humanity, including the winged scavengers who plagued his crops. Now called Rook, the farmer became one of the wardens, those who wear helmets, capable of commanding an animal species. But when the world's engine failed, the power of the wardens fell into the wrong hands. Those who could afford to fled, forcing those left behind to choose between trying to escape this war-torn world before its destruction or fighting to save it. Previously in Rook, with his escape craft now in ruins, Rook now finds himself on the run from the barbaric bear warden Ursar. Joined with the wolf warden Direwolf, they need to find allies and find them fast. It's Ghost Machine. It's the 3rd issue. I'm in on this. This is great stuff. Great art by Jason Fabok. Everything here looks so toyetic. Toyetic's a great word. Hey, Lane Kramer, how are you? Good to see you, Mr. Lane. How's it going there in Austin, Texas? We got Ghost Machine. We got a lot of love for Ghost Machine here in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I think Jeff and Ghosty will have you covered some replay. Yeah, it's true. But I want mine. I'm getting it. And Yule Carter's got me. He's got me all hooked up. He's also got my copy of Rare Flavors number 6 of 6 by Ram Z. I mean Ram the 5th. I mean Ram V. And that too is sold out on on Thursday. I didn't make it on Wednesday. As you full well know, I didn't get to make an episode on Wednesday. I had other things to do, and was spending time with my parents. But also, I was able to publish that new format kind of video. It's a great conversation of me, Thomas Gilkey, and the Memes of Destruction, YouTube creators talking about fandom and the Star Wars hubbub. And it was some pretty good content. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I suggest you do. It's pretty darn good. We had fun making it, eating tacos, drinking beer on a beautiful afternoon in the park. You know what I mean? And instead of seeing us all on a Zoom call, you get to see us all at the same table. And I think that was really cool. And I'm really impressed with the little microphone on the little GoPro that it picked up everything. And I'm really happy with that. That was like my first that was like my first go with that new camera. And yeah, I mean, I'll show you. I got this GoPro kit for my birthday in 2022. It was on sale for $350. And it's really comprehensive too. It's got, this is the GoPro itself. That's the back. That's the front. It has a little display. This is a mini display, so you can see what you're shooting, but only in a square. Everything else is, in its proper rectangle. It came with 2 batteries. It came with this some clips. It came with a banana clip that you can attach the GoPro to and just clip it on something, which is pretty cool. But then check this out. It comes with a selfie stick. All right. That's pretty cool. It telescopes, but the selfie stick is also a tripod. This is great. This is really handy. And I'm looking forward to using this more and making more content with this little camera. Maybe I might bring it to the convention in August. Tree fitty. Nice. But yeah, so that's Direwolf and Rook, and their helmets control the different animals they're associated with. Love this Fabok art. Oh, this is so good. Great stuff. Look at that. Look at just hatchings and cross hatchings and proper pencils. You know what I mean? There's nothing. This stuff fuels me up. I love it. What else do we got from Image this week? Sacrificers number 9. Let's put a pin in that. The Cabinet number 5. Did I read this one? Did I try to? I think I opened it up and I looked at it. I can't for the life figure out like who this is made for. Does this sell? I mean, put another log on the flame. Another Dan Slott issue. Gee, yeah, I mean, The Cabinet number 5. Who's this by? David Ebeltoft is the writer of the story. Jordan Hart is the writer, the letterer, and the designer. And Chiara Raimondi. Edits by Chris Royale. He's a name. Last time on The Cabinet, as many triumphs. In her and RJ's corporate skirmish for now, our heroes battle for the doodad and their lives in a pensioner's apartment. Okay. Yep. Okay. I've had enough of that already. I think I skipped that one. Universal Monsters, The Creature from the Black Lagoon with Dan Waters and Ram V. This is on Skybound. And this is part... Skybound didn't just pick up the Hasbro license. Skybound picked up the Universal license, too. We were just talking about Universal, the Universal Park down in Orlando. Well, this is The Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives. It's kind of like a sequel. And it's not great. I'll tell you that. You know, it would. You know what? If you wanted this kind of story, you should have just hired, Greg Rucka. It's all about her getting in and out of trouble. Hey, look, feet. All right. I'm sorry. Kind of boring. Is anyone out there liking this? Universal Creatures. The Creature from the Black Lagoon lives. Pheromonic, the comic shop I follow in Texas, had a flash sale this week, and excited to pick up Absolute Swamp Thing, the original era. So excited for that. Nice. Yeah. Bingo bango. Oversized pages full of beautiful art. Has nothing to do with the Absolute Universe that's coming out. World Tree number 11. Another offering from Tiny Onion. He specializes in horror. And this is some this mystical horror stuff that with the internet and stuff. There's a lot of nudity in this, so I'm not going to really show too much. And it's moody. We're using, it's... Yeah, I mean, it's like haunted internet stuff. Exactly. Like I get this app on my phone and I show it to you. If you look at it, it's kind of like the magic word. It kind of just transmits like some kind. You've been captured into my like digital magic. I've stolen your soul or something. Now you've been downloaded or something. Yeah. It's interesting. And this issue has made the most sense of the past. I've read the past 4 issues. Like I said, just coming into this stuff. We got Void Rivals issue 10. We got some Void Rival fans out there too. This is the only part of the Energon universe I'm not really reading. See that there's Springer, the Autobot, and this one we're kind of like, it's getting closer to what's going on. I'm reading everything else. I'm reading the G.I. Joe stuff. I'm reading the Transformers stuff. And this has some Transformers elements to it, such as issue 1 started off with Jetfire and our hero and our heroine, who are from like warring factions. And see this little thing on their forehead, though? That's going to be important. And so they're fighting, I'm liking the hand-drawn onomatopoeia. I'll tell you that much. I wasn't really sold on the art before. It's still not my favorite, but it's all right. You know what I mean? It's really grown on me. And but check out those sound effects, especially the transformation sound effects. And she gets injured really badly. And this is what happens. Spoilers. And Springer recognizes the thing on the forehead as an energon port. And they're humanoids. They're human. They're organics. But somewhere in their DNA, they share some kind of Cybertronian ancestry. And so Springer is able to, and look, see, the cover is in the book. Ain't that cool? That's always a bonus, huh? You poured some energon into her forehead through her port, and she was able to heal. And so maybe, geez, what does that mean for the humans of Earth? If so, anything. Will it? We'll find out as the story unfolds. And those are the image books that we read this week. Oh my goodness. We read so many X-Men books this week, it wasn't even funny. Oh gosh. Share screen. Pika? What? Oh, you're really excited. What? AL's here. Oh, you're always so happy to see AL and their Pikachu. It's just because it's like a Pikachu thing. It's just they get really excited when they, oh, look how they're smiling and they see each other. Oh, isn't it? Oh, look, he's so happy. Look, yeah. Oh. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always it's always nice to see everyone. It really is. 19 Marvel books. Let's get to it. We had this awful book. It's called X-Men Era of Apocalypse. See that guy in the cover there? Let's see. His name's Genocide? Really? I thought that used to be... Didn't he used to be Holocaust? Does anyone know? I thought it originally was known as Nemesis, and then Magneto tried to kill him because he killed Wanda. And this is in the Age of Apocalypse universe. All right, let's get things straight. And that's right, Elithidor. I'm just about the biggest Apocalypse fan there is, and this book is poop. Good, exactly, yeah. AL likes the Void Rivals, and I'm glad you stuck with it because I'm starting to like it too, and I can always go back and get it if I like it. You know what I mean? And get the whole completist thing when it comes to Energon universe. You know, Darren Warren Johnson, Daniel Warren Johnson got me into Transformers and Kirkland on Void Rivals. That's cool. Yes, he was Holocaust in AOA, and 616 Dark Beast renamed him Nemesis. Right. Because also another thing is, like, you can't, use the word Holocaust anymore to, as a character, something like that, with all the sensitivities and stuffs. So here, the ancient mutant apocalypse leads a new age of mutant kind on Mars. As such, he requires a successor to oversee the ascension of mutants on Earth. Apocalypse has summoned 12 candidates to be tested in body, mind, and spirit. The destiny of mutant kind rests with the heir to Apocalypse. Apocalypse teleports the 12 contenders to a temple in Egypt, where they battled a series of death traps and sized up their competition. A nearby explosion interrupted, and the competitors agreed to pause their trial to help the locals. Soon they discovered the source of the disturbance, the mutant genocide, who, as Apocalypse's son, claimed to be his true heir. This is written by Steve Fox, who's, there's the cast. You have Genocide and Apocalypse. Your contestants are Armageddon Girl, the notorious villain of Jerry Duggan's very controversial X-Men Green. Hello, remember, this is the one that was killing people, that killed the store clerk over the plastic bag, you know what I mean? And got Cable, Cypher, Emma Frost, Exodus, Forge, the Gorgon, Mr. Sinister, Mirage, Penance, Richter, and Laura Kinney. X-23. Wolverine. Right, yeah, sure. I was hoping to get canceled. And but this is good because it looks like Armageddon Girl gets killed. Yep. Or maybe she's out for the count, but maybe seriously, I mean, just hopefully she got, she got what was coming to her, Read Blood Hunt number 4 and The Vengeance of Moon Knight number 6 today. Yeah. I read them all. Remender's X-Force, he brought Holocaust Nemesis in the 616 as a child of Apocalypse. One of his, and heard. Thank you. Took my daughter and friends to the local comic book shop with it. Oh, nice. My daughter got a Funko Pop, and I got a Batman Year One for her friend. Very nice. Yeah. This post about the 12, right. Exactly. That's nice. Let's see. What else did we read this week? It was... Okay, and on the other side of the coin for Steve Fox, okay, it was this really decent 4 issues of X-Men 97. This is a prequel to the new TV show, and this was pretty good because it's like you have iconic versions of characters. Everyone's speaking in their traditionally iconic character voice. I was pretty pleased with this book. I kind of like the the design of this page because it's very nostalgic. It says 97, but I mean, come on, this is that really looks more like 87 to me. And the art's not that great, but it's very digital. But look at how flat this looks. It really looks so flat. But it was entertaining. The story was all right. And I don't know. It's this. The story kind of elevates the flat artwork, but the flat artwork itself too is very reminiscent of the anime style of the show, and it was decent. So you have Steve Fox doing a very terrible job on Heir to Apocalypse, and then doing a really decent job on X-Men 97. So where do you go from there? Nowhere. It equals out. Oh. Yeah, we're all getting old. Yay! It appears we're all getting old together, though. That's nice. we have a one-shot, a Blood Hunt one-shot with Ilyana Rasputin, otherwise known as Magic, otherwise known as Darkchild. She teleports. She's got a soul sword. She's also part demon. She was aged up in a hell dimension, and she was married to a demon, underage too. There's a lot to unpack with Ilyana Rasputin. Back when I was easily enamored by childish things in childish fairs, my father would tell me stories of the Bogatyrs, one of the warrior knights, so blah blah, Siberia then, Siberia now, and here we go. It's vampires. The art in it, it's the art, it's not that bad. Kind of like it. Especially, me, hand-drawn onomatopoeia, hand-drawn sound effects. That's not. You can tell. But I don't mind the art. See, slam. See? Clang. See, beautiful. It's okay. It wasn't that great. Nice. Like that. A lot. Especially if you can find like Robin 3 and floppies. And they each they have those laser hologram stickers on the cover of them. I love those. I saw a bunch of those in the dollar bins at the con, and I was very close to picking some of those up. Yeah, huh? He wouldn't know how to write, Robin. Let's see what else is out there. Wolverine, Madripoor Knights. Did I even read this? I did. Gosh, this was terrible. It really is. I don't even care. And this is Chris Claremont and doing a 0.1 issue. Vengeance of the Moon Knight, number 6. I'm not a Moon Knight fan, so this is just it's a Blood Hunt tie-in. Written by Jed McKay, who's writing Blood Hunt itself. The only Marvel books I bought this week were Wolverine Madripoor Knights, Symbiote Spider-Man 2099, and Ultimate Black Panther. And it's yeah. And then comes Blood Hunt number 4. We'll get to at the end of the stack. But the obvious happens, of course, in Blood Hunt number 4. We'll get to that when we get to that. Union Jack, Blood Hunt, Union Jack the Ripper. And it's written by Kevin Scott, who does a lot of Star Wars stuff. And but I just love the Kev Walker art in this. Just look at something like this. Is good stuff. Loving it. This is one of the better tie-ins. And everything's happening in England too, so far away and so far moved away from Marvel New York City. Here we go. Sorry about that. Ultimate Black Panther, number 5. This is pretty much the best thing that Ultimate Comics has got going on right now. Brian Hill's writing this. Art by Carlos Nito, who stayed on all 5 issues so far. Here it comes. And here it comes. Peace out. I took Ultimate X-Men off of my pull list. I did. Yep, no more. I had enough. It makes me feel bad. This makes me feel good, though. It's a pretty good book. It's full of action, adventure, palace intrigue. It's full of tech. It's full of it's full of good character moments. It's interesting to see what's being set up here, especially with Aurora, Eric Killmonger, and T'Challa. In this new status quo. Really liking it, This is pretty good stuff. What else came out this week? Lots of stuff came out this week. The Thanos annual, all right? Starting this is a crossover for annuals this summer. It's called the Infinity Watch. And apparently all the Infinity Stones have taken human form, and they're their own team now. And Thanos wants them back on his glove so he can do his Infinity Gauntlet thing. Apparently he made a new Infinity Stone, the Death Stone. Here we go. Here is your info drop on the info drop page. They're really helpful. The Mad Titan Thanos once held all of the Infinity Stones in his Infinity Gauntlet and was nigh omnipotent. Impotent? No. That means you can't get it up in any multiverse. Oh, I took a Viagra and stuck in my throat. Now I got a stiff neck. Ah! Charlie Murphy. Pika, take it away, kid. That was a long time ago, but he has not forgotten. Recently, Thanos has distilled his former flame, Death, into a new Infinity Stone, the Death Stone. Across the universe, the other Infinity Stones have mysteriously become intrinsically one with new bearers, granting each power over an aspect of the very fabric of the cosmos. Individually, these stone bearers are forces to be reckoned with. Together, they can reshape the very universe. Thanos wants his stones back. And there we go. Art by Salvador LaRocca. Okay, look at this art. Looks like comic book art with comic book people. Now, I made a big deal about Salvador LaRocca. If you remember, going back a couple of months ago, as we read all the Star Wars books that we get in the Pirate Chest. And Salvador LaRocca was doing the art for the Obi-Wan Kenobi adaptation, the 4 issues that got adapted, or maybe 5 issues rather. They got adapted from the Disney Plus TV show, and it looks like he just drew over pauses of the show. It was too photorealistic. They didn't have any look at this guy's face. That looks like it was drawn. That does not look like it was traced over a guy's face. Yeah. Hey! All right. The memes of destruction is here. Now we can bust out the beer, in glasses. No more Dixie cups. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, but, it's reliable, and it's very, normies can pick up on that because they know what an Infinity Glove is. Everyone knows who Thanos is now. I know, huh? But this was actually an entertaining issue. I like the characters. I like, as a one and done, this was pretty good. And yeah, I mean, I had no problems with this one. See, what I was saying, like being pleasantly surprised and satisfied with just just a random new comic book. That's something like for me that I like that. Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 issue 4, I think of 5. This was darn good. I admit, and like I am a 51-year-old lifetime comic book reader and fan, and there are so many people out there that sometimes you just haven't gotten to yet. Sometimes it's not like you're purposely skipping people, but you're just not too aware of and that like they got a huge chunk of stuff and they do a lot of different things. Well, Peter A. David in particular is a writer, a comic book writer that I'm pretty ignorant about. I haven't read a lot of his stuff. And also, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. And Peter David has got a bunch of Star Trek novels. And I'm like, I must have read a few of them. I read a bunch of those things, man. Right, Pika? Right. And so Symbiote Spider-Man's pretty fun. And what's next? The final issue, 8 of 8. Superior Spider-Man by Dan Huslot, Christos Gage, pencils by Mark Bagley, inks by John Dell, and here we are. Yes. And this was pretty fun. This was really decent. I'm going to give credit where credit is earned. Exactly. I've read issues here and there of it, of course. I mean, I haven't read the entire run. I am really kind of like, I was never a Hulk fan, to be honest with you. Like, I'm pretty ignorant of the Walt Simonson Thor run. Why? I'm not a Thor fan, but I love Simonson. I was more of X-Men, definitely X-Men, definitely Spider-Man. But I wasn't into, I wasn't into Fantastic Four. I wasn't into, I was more into Iron Man, sure. I'm like, the what? The what? But Otto Octavius is everywhere. He's in the minds of everyone in New York City. And Peter's got to save everyone, of course. So it's okay. It just Dan Slott knows how to tell a Spider-Man story, okay? And he's pretty decent with Peter Parker when he wants to be. Let's see. We got a Star Wars comic today. That's Dwayne Muth, all right. Peter David forgot more about writing than the novice bumper crop of slack-wit writers. Wowzers! We've got Darth Maul, black, white, and red. One of those. Just these. Leonard Kirk is the artist. Andres Mosa is the color artist. Okay, sure. Pew pew pew. See, that's a legit Star Wars sound effect. Right. If you remember 2 weeks ago, I was bagging on Blood Hunters #2, and Kate Bishop is loosing arrows, and it's saying pew pew pew. No, that's not how a loosed arrow sounds. Pew 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 is legitimately a Ben Burt sound effect. It's categorized. It's been trademarked. And it's, just black, white, and red. That's it. This is before he got cut in half. On feed. Yeah. And nothing, just... Sure. That's this week's sole Star Wars book. I'm so tired of black, white, and insert color here. Kinda, yeah. You know, it's just, I think it's more, for me, it's about artist and story. And like, if they had a better writer artist combo on that, I'd be all over it. You know what I mean? If it was Peach Momoko, I would be all over it, except for Ultimate X-Men, which I am totally done with. What else we got? Oh, great. One of 2 Stephanie Phillip books this week. This is Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider issue 2, Legacy 62. And when teenager Gwen Stacy suits up in her synthetic symbiotic suit and web shooters, she gains amazing powers. A spider sense that warns her of danger, the ability to stick to walls with her adhesive fingertips and toes, the proportional speed and strength of a spider, and the ability to throw and swing from webs. She is also a frequent traveler of the multiverse, but recently left her home on Earth 65 for mysterious reasons to begin a new life on Earth 616 as Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider. No one was supposed to know no one was supposed to know Gwen was in 616, including the other spiders. She blew her cover by suiting up to stop a bank robbery against the specific instructions of her TVA handler, OB. A bad day got even worse when she was stabbed by Kraven the Hunter and thrown from the same bridge where the 616 original Gwen Stacy had died. Written by Stephanie Phillips. Artist is Frederica Mancine. This is a Mark Brooks cover. There you go. Some Mark Brooks art. There you go. Let's see. Nick Lowe is your editor. Assistant editor is M.R. Daniel. It says not Mr. Daniel. It's M.R. Daniel. All right. Get that straight. And this has got to be before Blood Hunt because Miles is not a vampire. Yeah, I can't stand that lettering. No, that's a Mark Brooks cover. Oh man, look at that! Look at that physiology on Peter. It's so awful. That's a bad drawing. Look at that. Look at that profile on Peter there. Look at that background. And, oh, man, look at these faces. This is terrible art. How much would this comic? What's the cover price of this? $3.99 for 24 pages of junk. That's it. I feel my friend Mike Alonzo calling to me from the heavens saying this is poop. I hear you, Clobby. It's stool. Midnight Suns 2 of 3 Blood Hunt. All righty. This is, look at all. This actually had some pretty good horror to it. And it's okay art. When Lilith, mother of demons, sent darkness and demons to attack Earth, the team of supernatural heroes gathered to defend it. They call themselves the Midnight Suns. Now as darkness shrouds the Earth once more, the Midnight Suns must reunite, among them Danny Ketch, empowered by the spirit of vengeance as the Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze, once a Ghost Rider himself. How can Danny Ketch be Ghost Rider at the same time as Parker Robbins, the Hood? Literally having Xanathos itself, the spirit of vengeance. I don't know. Johnny Blaze, once a Ghost Rider himself, now fuels his weapons with hellfire. Victoria Montesi, a daughter of the elder god Cthon and an expert in dark magic, and Blade, a half-human, half-vampire monster slayer. There's just one problem. Blade's a bad guy. There you go. And written by Brian Hill. He was writing Ultimate Black Panther, all right? He's doing a decent job over there. And but there's just really one great gross out scene here. Yeah, this is really good kind of like horror movie stuff. I like the camera work in here. When we say camera work, you got to think of pretend we're watching a movie and pretend we're making a movie. And these are our storyboards. And we're using, our camera right now. So I like the panel progression here. It's the same character. This is just like she's checking doors and, and then she looks out, she hears a voice from down the hall. And I got so much pain inside of me. And it's a vampire. These weird goat eyes. And this is what he does. He slices his skin. Look at this. Isn't that gross? I love it. This is pretty darn good. And then she starts running like, help, help, help. And there he comes. Here comes the vampire. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Ghost Rider. So yeah, this was decent. I thought this was decent. Are you guys what are you picking up on Blood Hunt? Are you getting any of the tie-in issues? Are you liking them? How are you feeling? Let's see, Spider-Gwen. We have Spectacular Spider-Men, written by Greg Weisman with great pencils by Humberto Ramos. This is just it's a Miles Morales, Peter Parker team up book. And we've been finding out what's been going on. Arcade and who's the other guy? Mentalo. Is it Mentalo? I don't know. And but I love this Humberto Ramos art. I love Humberto Ramos as Spider-Man, but there's something wrong here. They're both trapped in some kind of illusion, and they're starting to figure it out that they are. Peter's married to Gwen. Miles is going out with Kamala? No way. Blood stunt. That's funny. It's Blood Stunt here at Marvel Comics. Oh, yeah. Absolute Justice, Absolute Power starts this week, too. It's July. We're at summertime. It's time for events. And, Spectacular Spider-Man. No, thanks. What else we got here? There's a lot of Marvel comics. Oh, gosh. Somebody help me. Oh, Celeste Bronfman. Oh, please, save me from my boredom. And, yeah. Here you go. It's a Phil Notto cover. Yeah. There we go. This was, yeah, this happened. And, hey, there's Paul. Ladies and gentlemen. You had your Paul sighting. There you go. He's got a man bun. Is that a man bun or just one of those ponytail things? And this is where Felicia's new girlfriend and look at her nose ring, and they were dating because they like to steal together, and now that Felicia's like conscious has kicked back in, I think they got to break up now. And then there's the big fight, and then let's look at something else. Helverine #2 came out. Ben Percy, and this is actually a really good setup to, like, here's your info dump. See, the Akihiro, otherwise known as Daken, and this catches you out PDQ. So the Bagra Ghoul spirit recognized Akihiro as, like, being compatible, because the Bagra Ghoul had recently possessed Wolverine. Absolute boredom. That's great. Hey, what's up, Summoner? Good to see you. Hope you enjoy. And here comes the Helverine. That's right. We're weaponizing hellfire. The U.S. government. That's it. Yeah. We've got giant-sized little marvels written by Scotty Young. Some cutesy stuff. Yeah, Helverine is I'm waiting for Benverine to show up too. And I think that would be great. But it was actually pretty entertaining. I think these are supposed to be cute. All right, supposed to have fun with these. Comic books should be fun, so have some fun with this stuff. I kind of think this is deodorant. Isn't that cute? But Scotty Young doesn't draw this, but it's done in Scotty Young style. He did write this though, and it's just supposed to be fun, and it makes me smile. That's why it's Jeff made me smile too. All right, you don't have to, we don't have to hate everything. Oh my God, but we can hate this if you want. Don't worry, you got my permission. It's Stephanie Phillips, issue 4 of 4. It's Black Widow and Hawkeye, and we've got it's we're having symbiotes for everyone. Yes, it is. It is. Stephanie Phillips, Paolo Villanelli. I despise the design of this page. I don't know why. I just do. Oh man, look at this freaking digital art. Gosh. It's just so so cheap, and everything is in. We got flashbacks and flash forwards, and just this is terrible. Anyone out there like it? Can't hate everything. Nice. Hey, Northwood's nerd. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. We are reviewing this week's comics that we've read. We've read 42 different floppies just this week. 19 of them have been Marvel comics. And at the end of this, it's like Clint gets his own symbiote. And that's how we're going to win this. Look at, now we have Hawkeye symbiote. Look at that. Oh, not very toyetic. Oh, boy. Let's not ship these two, okay? Well, because Clint's a notorious cape chaser, but I don't think he's ever had it. Now, what about Clint and Natasha's comic book history? I don't think they were ever a couple. Natasha's been romantically linked to Tony Stark, Matt Murdock, James Buchanan, Bucky Barnes. Anyone else? Let me know. Or was Clint Barton one of them? Because Clint Barton is a notorious cape chaser. No more symbiotes. I know. Yeah, they tend to, huh? How are you not liking Blood Hunt if you like vampires? Let's see what else. And the last Marvel comic of this week. Let's look at it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't think, and I looked at the solicits. Issue 5 of Blood Hunt. This has been coming out every 2 weeks, and then issue 5 is solicited for the end of July. Today is the last day of June. So we're going to have like 3 weeks full of just Blood Hunt tie-ins. Throw another Dan Slott book in the fire. It's 4:20. I'm fine for right now. I usually I'll be doing this, and then you hear the, then you're going to be hearing. All right. Happy 420. I'm only getting this strictly for the Pepe Larraz artwork. All right. And yeah, I mean, this is just it. I'll tell you what my biggest disappointment with this book was. Okay. If you come to me hat in hand for aid, that would be a correct assessment. You can tell me, doctor to doctor, it's Doom. So you got Stephen Strange and Clea coming to Doom for assistance. And then we flash over to Blade's. Look, Blade shows who he really is. Who is infected Blade? It's Varney, the first vampire, which is a good play on words, because Varney the Vampire was one of the first vampire books after Sheridan Le Fanu's Carmilla and Bram Stoker's Dracula. And then there was Varney the Vampire, and these were the first of the most popular vampire tales in the late 18th century. For real, I love vampire. I usually do. I love vampire stories. Is this a good vampire story? Not too good. I want to take off a point for every time Jed McKay has Doom say I, me, or mine, or something. I love it when Doom uses his name in the third person. He should be saying, like, of course, Doom has taken precautions to protect Doom's people. Now, what can Doom help you with, Steven? The Dark Force. Doom has precautions for that as well. See, it's like, I mean, I love it when, when Doom sounds like that. And that's like, you've really taken I don't know, but it does come, that notion comes full circle at the end, because by the end here, we've got the gig is up. The Avengers have returned. The Moon Knights, something about the Moon Knights, and so Mark Spector is now returned from the dead. There he is, and there's this new design, and it's very Assassin's Creed, if you ask me. And Blood Hunt is a misnomer. Forgive me your money. See, Dwayne, this is why I asked, because Dwayne knows this stuff. Clint dates Natasha on and off throughout the Avengers in the late 60s. Thank you. Exactly. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, there's Mark Spector has returned. Coming next week, there is the Fist of Khonshu at issue 0. And it looks like there's a Moon Knight Corps, too. The Moon God. Too late. And so that Thor may see, insult and injury I have suffered, and Thor will have recompense. So at least Thor is using himself in the third person. And here we go. This is the penultimate issue. It's got to wrap up. So, and to be concluded. That's the, here you go. T'Challa, his physiology is now fought off the vampirism, and he's back to so the Avengers are back, dude. I love the armor. I love that Mark 72 armor, the Mysterium armor, and that's it for Marvel Comics. That's a lot of Marvel Comics this week. Thank you so much for hanging in there so long, because we're getting to DC Comics next. That's right. We read Absolute Power Ground Zero #1, which was it's just set up for Absolute Power issue 1, because you need to read Absolute Power Ground Zero issue 1, and then this week as well, you got to read Green Arrow #13 first, and then read Flash issue 10, which is not on the checklist. Hello. And Fear Monarchs like this. Jed went to Marvel and said, hey, I want to update Moon Knight's costume since the show's over and the suit's played out, and I want Khonshu back on the board. And Marvel said, all right, but we need 60 issues. Indeed. That's 5 years away. That's just 5 years of your life, Mr. McKay. Grounds, it was all right, Action Comics 1066 and Superman 15. These are parts 5 and 6 of the House of Brainiac. They're both written by Joshua Williamson. They're both drawn by Rafa Sandoval, and they're pretty darn good. I mean, I need to go back and get Action 1066. I forgot to get that. I'll pick that up, because at least it's not something like Power Girl #10 this week, which is a tie-in, and it's terrible. I will say something positive about Power Girl, though. I like their use of the Holiday Girls. In this iteration, they're a girl gang on motorcycles. But originally, the Holiday Girls in the Golden Age were Wonder Woman's sorority sisters at Holiday College. And those would be the girls that she gets into adventures with. And they would have, get into these life-threatening situations, but they'd always be safe because they had Diana, and it's just, I like that. It's kind of simple. Let's see. We had Detective Comics by Ram V. And with art by Stefano Raffaele. It's pretty good. I've been liking Detective Comics. It's all right, in my humble opinion. And one thing I did want to show, well, we also got Penguin issue 11 of 12 by Tom King. Now, this is, I don't usually like Tom King's work. I like it here because he can actually use his forces of evil, kind of thing, where it belongs. He's pretty cruel to characters, and it's like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Kind of like it. So the last issue we have is Batman Brave and the Bold, issue 14. Share the screen. Trying to share my window. No. Chrome tab. Hello. Share entire screen? No. Where did it go? Sorry, I'm having a mind fart right now. Cancel. Let's try that again. Share screen. Share screen. New comics this week. Dropbox. No. Really? How do I share the screen? Why is this gonna be? Why do you gotta be such a jerk? Okay. Did that show? No? All right. Okay. It was Brave and the Bold, number 14, and it just gets better the further away it gets from Tom King. Seriously, Tom King started off this book with like an eight-part anthology thing to tie it all together. It's perfect bound. It's anthology, and it's got a really good black and white one that I was going to share with you. Oh, come on, Brad. Want to try this one more time? Present. Share screen. Share screen. All right. This ain't working. Sorry about that. Batman Cape Crusader looks interesting. Is that the one with the... was that the one with the Asian Harley Quinn being in a relationship with Montoya? It is also like $7.99, yeah. And but it's been, a lot of it has there's a lot of good quality to it, I feel. I mean, I thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And if you haven't subbed already, we're about to break 1,500 subscribers here in our little channel. Thank you so very much. And please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you could be so kind if you haven't already. We hit 1,500 the other day, and I like to say, hey, this is just a moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice moment because, like, sometimes, of course, I lost like one or two, and just like it was, you go right back to 1498, and it's like that's fine. It's expected. It'll keep growing. It'll keep growing. But what? That's just this. You know what? Oh man, just yeah, sure. Exactly. But Brave and the Bold, number 14, really decent book. Because there's Tim Seeley's writing it with art by Kelly Jones, and it's a team up with Nightwing and Deadman. And it works really well. Because Nightwing and Deadman, our Boston brand, are both circus folk. They're carny folk. And just so they get along pretty well. And they have an interesting relationship, and I love the Kelly Jones art in it. And then there's another one where you have a Batman Guy Gardner team up. It's got this really interesting art, bright colors, and of course, it's because it's Batman, dealing with his idiot friend. He's had this love-hate relationship with Guy. It goes all the way back to the One Punch, same dudes. And but yeah, it's really cool. And that are the 42 different funny books that we read this week. Now, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? That's right. What did we get this week? From our local comic book shop, our LCS. That's right. That's where the dreams live. I go every Wednesday. This week I went Thursday. But and so two things were sold out by the time I got there, which was Rare Flavors number 6 of 6 on Boom Comics from Ram V and Felipe Andrade. It's a really awesome book. I like to describe it as a comic book. Something that's a sheer pleasure to be reading is serialized. It's going to collect very nicely. I'm also a professional chef, so it's got an angle with food. It's got a very curated color palette and a very sensitive, soft art style. It's very European. I don't have enough I have nothing but good things to say about Rare Flavors. It's been a sheer joy to read this, and it turned me on to Ram V, which is nice. Also, what was sold out this week was Rook Exodus number 3, and I put that on. I added that to my pull list. Let's put it that way. I took off Ultimate X-Men off of my pull list, but I added Rook Exodus. I added Hellblazer Dead in America. I added Flash Gordon, which is coming up on Mad Cave Books by Jeremy Adams. And did you know that on January 1st, 2025, Buck Rogers goes into the public domain? Aren't you? I think that's pretty cool. I really do. So what's in the bag? Let's find out. Leading off will be Blood Hunt, 4 of 5. This is the red band edition that I'm not going to even open. I'm just going to keep it in its bag. I'm just getting it to get it. I'm getting it because I like Jed McKay's artwork. Yes, Flesh Gordon. Exactly. I remember renting that in high school. What a letdown. But it's boring. Blood Hunt is a boring book. It's like La Raza's really nice artwork. It's like gets really muddled with the coloring in this. It's supposed to be dark though. Come on. They put the sun, they blotted the sky out. So it's supposed to be dark. Yet overall, this is just it's a boring book. Sorry. Next on my pull list is Superman by Joshua Williamson. I only need 2 more issues to complete my run of this, and Yule has me covered. Yule Carter at Fantastic Comics of Berkeley, California. I was like, hey, Yule, do you have issues number 2 and the 2003 annual? And he was like, yep. And I'm like, oh, goodies. Put them on my stack, please. So I'm going to see if he's got Action 1066 as well, so I can just finish this run up. But it's nice, big splash pages. It's pretty good pacing, pretty good action. Packed to pack. This is really packed with great action. It's like at the end of it, you got Lois kissing Clark. Ain't that nice? Lex's mind has been wiped. And here's your checklist. It looks like we're getting Doomsday back any second now too. Oh joy. I thought Doomsday was in hell or something. And here's some ads. That's Multiversus. My Adventures with Superman. And I guess there's one movie ad. Something. This was pretty good. And House of Brainiac leading into Absolute Power. Hey, there he is, my buddy. Good morning, Greg. Konnichiwa da. Good morning from Japan. What's it? It's at 5:40 a.m. there for you, sir. Konnichiwa da. We have Sacrificers. I'm Genki. I'm feeling Genki. Are you feeling Genki? I'm not feeling Genki. I'm feeling Genki. This is Sacrificers number 9 by Rick Remender and Max Fumiara. This is a wonderful book. This book itself, it's like the past 2 issues have just been like rising action and filling us in on this, like the new status quo after issue 6. So 7 and 8 were just being like this slow burn, this buildup. And this one, it's got the goods. And it's Pigeon. And he's been imbued with this godlike power. And now he's given himself agency to revenge all the sacrificed. And for what? For these gods to live these lives at the expense of the people in the land. Oh gosh, this was so good. This is just great art. Just, yeah, here. Oh, look at that. And it's Pigeon. Pigeon is like come a long way. This is Pigeon's character arc. And along the way, we're going to find out what happened to her as well. Haha, Vincent Flanagan, how are you? Good to see you, man. Not for kids. No, not 1 second. Not one. Huh? I don't even know what a Discord is. I know Eris, the goddess of Discord. She rolled the golden apple down Peleus' wedding when he was marrying Thetis, the sea nymph, and it said on it for the fairest. And then like 3 of the goddesses hopped up and said, "That's mine!" And they were like, "Father Zeus," and Hera was like, "Husband, you will adjudicate this." Aphrodite wanted it, Hera wanted it, and Athena wanted it. Zeus, being wise God, was like, "Fuck this, I'm staying out of this." See that shepherd over there? You ask him. His name is Paris. It's called the Judgment of Paris. Paris, who gets this apple? Well, it's the one who made the sweetest offer. It was Aphrodite who gave him the sweetest offer. And he said, "I will give you the most beautiful woman in the world." And that ended up being Helen of Troy. And the number 1 pick this week has got to be G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 307. And this is a good book. Everything in this everything looks like an action figure in this. Everything looks like a toy. It's and everyone's spot on for their voice and how they look. It's like I feel like a nitpicking in this book when it comes to see things like, look at the texture on Serpentor there. See, like this, you don't need that Ben-Day dot texture. See those little dots everywhere on that? That's a screen filter. That's a digital effect because pages aren't printed like that anymore with that dot matrix kind of thing. You know, that's not how it's done. That is all, that's fake. That's a conscious choice by the colorist or whoever's adding that effect. And this is a really good book. I'm really enjoying it. I got mine. Ooh. Exactly. Getting me some steak fajitas tonight for supper. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna go down the pub. But yeah, I'm just very happy with this book. Just like I was aged out by then, so I couldn't get this on the Cobra chopper there. One of the last G.I. Joe toys I did have though was the Cobra Rattler. I had the Sky Striker too. I had some really decent toys, man. Yeah, I was an only child with the divorced parents, so it's like I got spoiled. Yeah. It was kind of nice. And but yeah, I had the Cobra Rattler, I had the Sky Striker, I had a Millennium Falcon, I had a Y-Wing, I had an X-Wing, I had the Death Star playset. That was nice. Dude, that was literally 4 stories scale. You know what I mean? Speaking of Star Wars, it's time for our the dot stuff is way overdone. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like, why? Yeah. We've been talking about Star Wars a lot because of the dissatisfaction with like the Acolyte and with Disney Star Wars. We talked a lot about it yesterday on Wes. We talked a lot about it on Thursday's GoPro show. And I'm usually pretty positive and pretty, I try to be as positive as I can, yet Disney Star Wars really is a letdown. And I'm going to talk about my grievances. Like I said, like it's Festivus, a holiday for the rest of us. And Festivus is where we air our grievances. And I have grievances against Disney Star Wars. Major grievances. As a Generation 1 Star Wars fan, a child of the 70s and 80s, a Generation 1 Star Wars fan, okay, because this was done on purpose to elevate some at the expense of others. It's like this postmodern academic thing. You need to ruin what came before so you can build something new that's all ours, that's free of the stink of patriarchy and its inculcated biases and its racisms and its all whatever you want to say. I don't give a shit about, whatever. I'm an old man now, so it's like it's fuck it. But I'm going to use the male characters in specifically the sequel trilogy as my examples of what's wrong with this stuff. All right. Look at Luke Skywalker, a hermit on an island, waiting to die alone. He gave up on his sister. He gave up on his friends. He gave up on his mission. He gave up on the galaxy. Mark Hamill has wonderful quotes about Rian Johnson saying, none of these things this character would do. I fundamentally disagree with everything you've chosen to do with this character. It's not, he's the most optimistic, hopeful, and heroic person. And that's what he was meant to be. So he was drafted to destroy this character. I no longer want to grow up. I'm grown up. I don't have to want to grow up to be anyone but myself. So I'm speaking whimsically here, please. But I no longer want to be like Han Solo. I no longer want to be like Luke Skywalker. I no longer want to be like Lando Calrissian. Listen, all three of these characters, something intrinsic was just really ruined about them, okay? Han Solo, they made him into a deadbeat dad with a failed marriage. He had never advanced himself. He was just a loser, bringing his best friend down too. I mean, like, didn't they have a better life? Being married to Leia and everything. Jeez, now they're but Han Solo, who died a villain's death, falling down a bottomless shaft. You know what I mean? That's a villain's death. I think it was Mahler who pointed that one out. That's really interesting. So they did that. They did Luke wrong. I no longer want to grow up to be like Luke. They did Han wrong. I no longer want to grow up to be like Han. Like I said, I'm grown up. I mean, I'm lucky I grew up to be me. But they had those heroic qualities, you know what I mean, in their former iteration. And then also look at Lando Calrissian himself too. It's like he was a loser too. No wife, no children, working well past the age of retirement. Shouldn't he have been like an administrator of another facility, and living in comfort and opulence with a wife and kids, and just like, hey everyone, these are my grandchildren. I named them after you. This is Leia. This is Han. This is Luke, and this is little baby Chewie. They're my and then gave him this weird kind of vibe with Janna, the reformed stormtrooper in Rise of Skywalker, who in the book it was kind of hinted that Janna was Lando's daughter, and that because Lando had a family, and the First Order destroyed his home and kidnapped. He never heard of his family again. He presumed that the First Order, kidnapped these children. That's just what they did. They kidnapped children, and they re-educated them and made them into stormtroopers. That's just the army of the First Order. There was a subtext that got dropped, and that they would have revealed that, hey, It's the will of the Force. It brought these families back together, you know? So here you have the three main men of the original trilogy, all childless. Well, except for Han, who was basically his child. Oh, geez, like it was Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, his murderer, yeah, a mass murderer of billions. You know what I mean? Ask the Hosnian system, anyone? Of the Starkiller base? Yeah, Hux pulled the trigger. Sure. Don't worry, there was plenty of room on that gibbet for both of them. And then look at like their own new characters. Look at Poe Dameron. At the end of it, he could not get the girl. Look at Finn. At the end of it, he could not get the girl. Who are the only ones to kiss? The gay couple that got cut out for Yemen, Saudi Arabia, and Singapore. And by that own definition, too, why isn't there a Christian-friendly version? You know what I mean? Disney, you have a Muslim version of this movie. Why isn't there a Christian version of this movie? Like it's the same one. You know what I mean? With just that little scene trimmed out. You know, Colonel Darcy kissing her wife after the battle. You know what I mean? Of Exegol. That little scene was cut out. You know? And then you had this, and it was well admitted I read the novelizations of all three of those sequel movies. I don't own them. I don't want to own them. I love the novelizations of the Star Wars books. They're so enlightening, and they have like such more details, and it's very illuminating. And I mean, even the novelizations couldn't help. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's just, and Disney Star Wars are not real Star Wars. I mean, I like to say, because I don't want to shit on other people's good times, especially the young people. Young people, like, it's all the same to them. They don't see the differentiation. They don't see the striations and the sea change the way that we do. It's like, maybe it's a homogenous, like, you know, overstory for them. And we look at it as saying like, oh, you're damaging our beloved story. And I'm like, no, they really can't hurt us. They really can't. Because Disney, Lucas canon is closed. It's been since 2012, since Disney made a decision to move on. They have literally photocopied that. They printed it up, blew it up on paper, and gave it to their kids to use their crayons all over. And that's what they've done. And they're the kids making their own story. You know? I was hanging out with friends yesterday, and they were all normies. We all agreed that Disney destroyed Star Wars. There was no arc for the sequels. They were disjointed and weird. Yeah, agree. And but I'm happy just, you know, having Lucas canon. I wish there was more for us, but we've had, you know what I mean? It's just like you had a single authorship, a single vision. The shepherd, his name was George Lucas. It was his thing. And he was very specific on how it got handled by whom and what eras and everything. But now, once he sold it to a corporate thing, it's been Disneyfied. It's been taken a boys brand and made into a girls brand. I mean, I will never be disappointed with old Star Wars. Like this coming Tuesday, my friends Marcus and Thomas Gilkey, the Gilkinator, they're I think Thomas is going with his dad. Marcus asked if I wanted to go. It's at Fenway Park, $10 tickets. It's Star Wars night. They're showing A New Hope on the Jumbotron. First 7,000 people get a free lightsaber. People are coming in cosplay. So it's going to be a Star Wars night. It's going to be fun. And they're like, oh, you want to go? And I'm like, no, because they're obligated probably to use the most recent version of A New Hope. which isn't Star Wars. Star Wars is a 1977 movie. I know, I'm one of those people. I know, it is Star Wars. I know, I mean, we're splitting hairs. But then we're geeks. That's what we do here. This is part of the conversation. So I bet you the version they have to use is going to be the one from the most recent release, which was the Skywalker Saga box set. And they keep fine-tuning it, even outside of George Lucas's vision now. I mean, so this is the one that added McClunky. You know McClunky? McClunky is an exclamation that Greedo says right before he gets shot by Han Solo in their mutual exchange of fire. All right. Bye, JK. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as long as you could. I hope you had a safe drive. Tell Kiddo we all said hello, and I hope you have a great week. Look forward to seeing you again. We missed you around these parts. It's good. So good to see you that you were able to drop by. I love running into you on the other shows and having our ongoing conversation. So it's nice. It really is. And but yeah, I mean, but look at how they treated the men. All right, and we look at Leia. Leia's now general. She's not Queen Organa. She's not Princess Leia. You know, she's General Organa of the Resistance. And yeah, I mean, she made out fine, huh? Lando, childless loser. Han, deadbeat dad, loser. Luke Skywalker gave up on everything, loser. Poe Dameron, flyboy, didn't get the girl in the end. Kind of had a crisis of faith too, where he gave up hope. And then Lando literally says, "On your left." It's the same ending as Endgame. Bit of a loser. They didn't even have Finn kiss Janna, the other Skywalker girl. I mean, the other Stormtrooper girl. You know, why not? You know, the horses in space. Oh gosh. Again, I mean, all five of the men. And then you got Kylo Ren too. Again, loser. He has to sacrifice his life so the girl can live and be the hero. I don't know. That's about it for today. Thank you so much. We've gone 2 hours now, and we've reviewed 42 different comics. And thank you so very much for tuning in today. Good to see some new faces in the live chat. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We're hopefully gonna break 1,500 and stay there. We should be back on Wednesday with the previews. We do 2 shows a week about comic books on Sundays, the live stream, and on Wednesdays we'll be going back to a recorded format soon. I'm going back to work soon, so it's been nice hanging out with you live on Wednesdays as well. But we're going back to the pre-recorded content pretty soon. But Wednesdays is New Comic Book Day, so we always preview this week's releases on Wednesday. And thank you so very much. Keep your eye out for new content. Wow, AL, you're going to be in. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, cool. Good for you. AL's going to Anime Expo. That's great. Have fun. You can send us pictures. If you want to make a video, and we can, if you want, we can figure out a way, if you want to shoot a video and you can post it here, and you can, you can have the roving reporter segment, be like, we're reporting live from San Diego, anime. That's going to be fun. We'll have a great time while you're there. Fish tacos, I heard, are big down there too. I love fish tacos. And thank you guys so much for showing up and hanging out with us, talking about comic books, something that we love, and to share that love, to keep it going, and go to your local comic book shop and spend your money there. Remember, these are independent bookstores. They are the American dream, the American way that Superman is always talking about. I get my supplies there. I get my boxes, my bags, and my boards there. I don't get them from my online supply chain. I make sure that, I like to spend my money at the local comic book shop. Every little bit counts. We are in a symbiotic circle. The Naboo and the Gungans here, the comic book fans and the comic book shops. So please, I hope you get there, get a pull list, and let us know what you're picking up. Let us know what you're putting down. What are you enjoying? What are you looking forward to? You know what I mean? And thank you for being part of this ongoing comic book shop style conversation. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye. All right.